You want to tell us something, you want to guide us on anything, you have information to pass on, you have an opinion. Are you sure you have the right to tell us? Hi, my name is Samuel Mugabi. Once again, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you so much for following. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who have liked and shared the videos. Today I have an interesting topic to do with moral authority. So what comes to your mind when you hear about moral authority? Here I defined it as the power or right to guide or influence others based on one's ethical values or principles. The key word here is the power or the right to guide. In other words, I would talk about it as the right to talk about something. You want to tell us something, you have an opinion about something, but the question is, do you have the moral authority to talk about whatever you wish? You want us to know? Many times people want to talk about things, people think they have the right to talk about something, people think they have the authority to tell society something, but when the actual sense they do not have the moral authority. You should be in the best position to guide. You should be in the best position to influence. But before you come out to tell us anything, you should first have a self-reflection within you. Because if you do not do that reflection, chances are high you might be giving us what we may call the right information, but when the actual sense you are not the right person to say it. There are times that you will have the right information, but when you are not the right person to say it. What makes you the wrong person, and yet there is another right person? What makes the other person right is what we call moral authority. On many occasions, people have lost their moral authority. When you think about moral authority, you cannot separate moral authority, you can't distinguish it, you cannot put it away from responsibility. Moral authority moves hand in hand with responsibility, especially to the men. A few weeks ago I was talking to men, I was sharing with them about this topic of moral authority, and I was telling them how many men in our society no longer have the moral authority to speak about something. They do not have the moral authority anymore to tell their children something. They can't because they have failed on their places. They have failed on their responsibilities as men. They have failed to do what they should be doing, what is expected of them. For example, you may be wondering, what does it mean by moral authority and men? You know, how are the men failing in our society, and how come they lose their authority yet they are men? Yes, you can be a man, but if you're not doing your responsibility, you are going to lose the moral authority to say anything in your family. You're going to lose the moral authority to speak anything in the lives of your children. Why? Because you are not doing the responsibility. You are not living by example. This is a very wide topic that we can't even exhaust it in just today in a few minutes that we have. But today I want to just introduce moral authority. You want people to respect you in society. You want people to give you all the respect there is because you feel you are the man. You married this woman and you want her to call you the husband. You want her to call you the king of the house. The Bible at some point says that we are the heads, that the man is the head of the family. You can be the head, but when you do not have the moral authority. The head without authority is an empty head, sorry to say. So if we want to have the moral authority, we want to feel the complete men, we want to feel the complete people, the complete persons in the society where we live, we should do that which calls for us to have the moral authority. And what's that? It is responsibility. How many times have you lost your responsibility? How many times have you denied? You impregnated a girl and you ran away. You said that I'm not yet ready to start a family. And this girl went on crying, and eventually she was able to sustain the pregnancy, and she gave birth to the baby. And all of a sudden you want to come back in the baby's life. You want to come back in the child's life. People forget very fast the mistakes that they have made. They find it very easy to forget how they dropped their responsibility, how they abused, how they chased this woman from the house, and they are saying that I don't need in my house. For me, I cannot impregnate anybody. I went even for a vasectomy. I don't think that is my baby. And then you want to come back in a child's life when you feel you want now to give the orders of the home. That is not going to happen, unfortunately. Moral authority is earned because everyone on earth has responsibilities. God has given every person. The women have their responsibilities, the men have their responsibilities, the youth, the children have their responsibilities. So before you tell us anything, before you tell the world anything, question is, are you really living by example? Are you taking responsibility of the things that God has given you? Are you taking care of your family before you start coming out to tell us, you have to be very good people, you should keep your marriages very well, you should look after your children, but when you yourself, you have failed on yourself. Someone who has failed on themselves cannot have the moral authority to speak about anything. You cannot guide society. So if you feel you want to get at a position, because the world needs people with moral authority. The world needs people who have done things. The world needs people who have been exposed, people who have gone through stuff, people who have had the experience of anything. You have no experience, you have no right. You have no responsibility, you have no right to tell us anything. So if we want the authority, if we want the power, because everyone would love the power in society, let us go back to a place of responsibility. That is when we will gain the moral authority to tell the people, to tell the children, to tell our wives, to guide society. That is when we'll come out to be voted in places of authority, because we have seen it all, we have walked the journey, we have lived by example, so we can speak from an informed point of view. What are the challenges? What are the limitations? What are the limitations to moral authority? Don't you think there are things that limit people from having moral authority? So you can drop me a comment and let me know. In the next segment, we are going to talk about the limitations that come with moral authority. What limits people from having the moral authority? Because if we do not understand those, you're not going to understand what we are talking about. And maybe you're not going to understand what you should be fighting with. And these are struggles that we live with, we live by every other day. Tune in next time and we will learn together.